Ever feel like the world around you is just one big unsolvable math problem? Well, centuries ago, one man looked up at the sky and decided to solve the biggest puzzle of all, the universe itself. And he did it without telescopes, supercomputers, or even a basic calculator. His name was Al-Battani, and he was the rock star of medieval astronomy. Forget what you think you know about science history. Before Copernicus, before Galileo, there was Al-Battani, a man living in the heart of the Islamic Golden Age, in a city that's now in modern-day Turkey. He wasn't just some guy staring at the stars. He was a mathematical genius who revolutionized how we understand our place in the cosmos. Think of him as the original space explorer, but his spaceship was his incredible mind. So who was this trailblazer? Born around the year 858, Abu Abdullah Muhammad ibn Jabir ibn Sinan al-Raqi al-Harani al-Sabi al-Battani. Yeah, let's just stick with Al-Battani. Grew up in a world buzzing with intellectual curiosity. While Europe was in the midst of the Dark Ages, cities like Baghdad and Raqqa were beacons of knowledge, attracting the brightest minds from all over. It was the perfect environment for a young, curious boy to flourish. Al-Battani wasn't just an astronomer. He was a master of mathematics. And he knew that to truly understand the heavens, you needed more than just observation, you needed numbers. He took the ancient knowledge of the Greeks, like Ptolemy's famous work, the Almagest, and said, "This is brilliant, but I can do better." And he did. He built his own private observatory in Raqqa, a city on the banks of the Euphrates River, and for over 40 years he meticulously documented the movements of the sun, the moon, and the planets. This wasn't a casual hobby. This was his life's work. Day after day, night after night, he recorded positions, calculated orbits, and checked his findings. His dedication was legendary. Through this painstaking process, he made discoveries that would echo through the centuries. One of his most incredible achievements was calculating the length of the solar year, the time it takes for the Earth to orbit the Sun. He determined it to be 365 days, 5 hours, 46 minutes, and 24 seconds. Let that sink in. He was off by only 2.5 minutes from the modern value. All this with instruments you could probably build in your backyard. It's an absolutely mind-blowing feat of precision. But he didn't stop there. He discovered that the Sun's apogee, the point in its orbit, where it just farthest from the Earth, was actually moving. This was a radical idea. The established Greek model assumed a perfectly static, unchanging universe. Al-Battani's data proved that the heavens were dynamic, a constantly shifting cosmic dance. This discovery laid crucial groundwork for later astronomers like Kepler and his laws of planetary motion. And remember trigonometry from school? Sines, cosines, tangents? You can thank Al-Battani for making it a whole lot easier. While he didn't invent these concepts, he popularized and refined their use in astronomy. He developed new trigonometric formulas and created incredibly detailed tables of values that were used by scientists for hundreds of years. He essentially gave astronomers the mathematical toolkit they needed to map the sky with unprecedented accuracy. His magnum opus, a book titled Kitab al-Zij, or the Book of Astronomical Tables, became the go-to reference for astronomers in both the Islamic world and in Europe for centuries. It was so influential that it was translated into Latin in the 12th century, where it was known as De Scientia Stellarum, the science of the stars. Through this translation, Al-Battani's ideas directly influenced a who's who of the scientific revolution. Think about Nicolaus Copernicus, the man famous for proposing that the Earth revolves around the Sun. When he was developing his heliocentric model, who do you think he was reading? Al-Battani. In his own revolutionary book, On the Revolutions of the Heavenly Spheres, Copernicus quotes Al-Battani by name, relying on his precise observations and mathematical methods to support his own radical theories. Al-Battani had provided the ladder that Copernicus climbed to see a new universe. And the influence doesn't end there. Tycho Brahe, the great observational astronomer, and Johannes Kepler, who discovered the laws of planetary motion, both studied Al-Battani's work. Even Galileo Galilei would have been familiar with his contributions. It's like a scientific domino effect with Al-Battani pushing over the first piece. He was a foundational pillar of modern astronomy, even if his name isn't as famous as those who came after him. Beyond his scientific achievements, Al-Battani's story is a powerful reminder of the Islamic Golden Age, a period of immense scientific and cultural progress. It challenges the simplistic narrative that science just disappeared between the ancient Greeks and the European Renaissance. The torch of knowledge was not extinguished. It was carried and brightened by brilliant minds like Al-Battani, who preserved, corrected, and vastly expanded upon the wisdom of the past. His work demonstrates a key principle of science. Progress is built on the shoulders of giants. But sometimes those giants are people we haven't heard enough about. Al-Battani was a man driven by pure curiosity and a relentless pursuit of accuracy. He wasn't trying to become famous. He was trying to understand the truth of the cosmos. His legacy isn't just in his formulas or his tables. It's in the very spirit of scientific inquiry. So the next time you look up at the night sky or even just check the time on your phone, take a moment to remember Al-Battani. The calendar we use, our understanding of the seasons, and the very foundation of modern astronomy all bear the invisible fingerprints of this medieval master of the stars. He showed us that with dedication, brilliant mathematics, and a clear view of the sky, you can truly measure the universe. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed learning about this hidden hero of science, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about the amazing minds that shaped our world. Let me know in the comments which historical figure you'd like to see covered next. See you in the next video.